Hey, how we doing? Welcome to Geeks and Gamers Play, and the Saints Row Reboot, that absolute atrocious piece of crap, has officially killed Volition Games. Now, this is sad news. I mean, I really like the old Saints Row games. In my opinion, it peaked at Saints Row 2, and then after that, it started to get a little bit too wacky and just started to be a bit too ridiculous. And then, of course, we ended up getting things like Gat Out of Hell, so it just became stupid. And then when we were promised this reboot, they came up with this wall with graffiti on it. So it kind of implied a return to basics, a return to what we originally liked about Saints Row. And instead we got the reboot piece of shit, which we all know how that turned out. And now the studio is dead. So let's have a look at their message here. The Volition team has proudly created world-class entertainment for fans around the globe for 30 years. That's longer than I've been alive. Anyway, we've been driven by passion for our community and always worked to deliver joy, surprise, and delight. And I would say up until recently, you did a pretty good job of that. However, this past June, the Embracer Group announced a restructuring program to strengthen Embracer and maintain its position as a leader in the video game industry. As part of that program, they elevated strategic and operational goals and made the difficult decision to close Volition effective immediately. Woo! That's spicy. To help our team, we are working to provide job assistances and help smooth the transition from Volition family and members. We thank our customers and fans around the world for all the love and support over the years. You will always be in our hearts. Oh, that is spicy, man. This game was such a disaster. From the trailer, it was such a disaster. Then it released and ended up being a piece of shit that it killed a studio. This is not the first or even fifth time we've seen something like that this year, man. Surely the whole industry by now should be looking at these things going, we gotta stop making pieces of shit games, man. A lot of heat over at Starfield at the moment. You know, I'm not saying the Bethesda's gonna shut down, but they're the next big release. So here we go here. After the latest Saints Row games underperformed, developer Volition announced that it will be shutting down the studio. Saints Row was once seen as the primary competitor to the GTA series, but in recent years the rivalry hasn't been much of a competition. Agreed. They peaked as a rival with Saints Row 2. I actually prefer Saints Row 2 to GTA 4. I would say those two were around the same time, give or take a year or so. So those were the most likely that you can compare. And I'm Saints Row 2 all the way. An attempted series reboot last year titled Saints Row, which was the 5th official game in the main series, had mixed reception, but did not sell particularly well. Yeah, I'd say mixed reception at best, but we can all agree that it didn't sell well. Numbers don't lie. So recent news, though, has cast doubts on whether they'll make another entry in the iconic game series. Well, we know they're not going to be ones that making it. So in a post on LinkedIn, Volition, the development studio behind the Saints Row games, announced that it would be closing. So this discussion was followed by a rash studio shutdowns by Embracer Group after it failed to secure funding following rapid expansion in the next year. So yeah, there it all is here. And it is kind of sad to see that they are gone because they've been around for so long. But man, when you're putting out games like the Saints Row Reboot, it's kind of gonna happen, man. It's just naturally gonna happen. What a sad state of affairs and a sad way for this studio to go down. I'm gonna remember them for stuff like Saints Row 2, but you can't help but look at the whole thing and feel a little bit sour because of how it all ended up. But you tell me how you feel about this in the comment section down below. Be sure to subscribe to Geeks and Gamers Play and check out geeksandgamers.com, and I'll see you all in the next video.